The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, a game so remarkable that it is still considered to be the best video game ever made. Created by the talented Eiji Aonuma and the awesome game developers at Nintendo, Ocarina of Time was the first 3D Zelda game for the Nintendo 64 and was released in 1998. If you didn't know, the Nintendo 64 was a revolutionary console introducing the third dimension in gaming that would totally change gaming forever in the future. Oh yeah, we're hitting the Z-axis, baby. The first in the series, I might add, so that was a huge deal. Are you telling me this hunk of junk played 3D games in my very own CRT TV? Yeah? Ocarina of Time was just one of these memorable games to release on the system and still reeks with nostalgia for the players of the late 90s. But why? There have been so many new Zelda games since this one, even a sequel. Why this game? It looks so old. Well, there's more to this game that has left a mark on players all over the world. I'll be filming gameplay on my TV and my 3DS from my phone because I don't have an expensive capture card, so bear with me. Hi. It's now time to explore the world of Hyrule, but before we dive into the actual gameplay, let's talk about me. Me? What about me? I was born in 2002, I'm a little baby. I was too young to experience this game. Why should I care? I had a GameCube, still have it, and on that was a different Zelda game called The Wind Waker. This game still makes me so happy and excited to explore the Great Sea, even though I've beaten it like 5 times. Look at this, it's adorable. Ocarina of Time looks like it could use a remake, and yeah, it actually was remade on newer hardware. So Nintendo decided to remake the game for the 3DS. Why? Well, they wanted to show off how powerful the 3DS was, and, well, they proved it. But I do have a 3DS and a copy of Ocarina of Time 3D, so I guess I can't really complain. Hold on. What's going on here? 3D? In the title? It's already in 3D, you idiot. Okay, first, rude. Second, it's the amazing 3D mode on the 3DS. No more glasses, just fried cardiacs. I was introduced to this massive series through The Wind Waker, and was left craving more puzzle fun from the Zelda series. I was willing to use anything to get that Zelda craving fulfilled. But really? A 3DS? I know it's a tiny baby system. How the heck does this work with a game as massive as Ocarina of Time? And looks better in almost every single way? Okay, maybe I've been too hard on you, 3DS. You get a pat on the back. But this is how I began my adventure through Hyrule, just like the kids in 1998. Except in 2012. I was so excited to experience the world where players still spoke highly of today. And wow, my first impressions were not far off from them. Alright, time to use some analysis lenses to bring out the amazing and nostalgic world that lies in The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Let's just get this one over with. Yeah, this game did not age well in the visual aspect. Just look at his nose. You could pop a balloon with that schnoz. No, princess, what did they do to you? What the? Oh my lord, what is that? Wait a minute. This was intentional. But they look so weird, I can't get them out of my head. Well, that was the point. These characters are supposed to look weird, to give them personality, and to make the player laugh. Haha, look at this dead soldier. Ooh. But this guy with his hairy stomach is so funny. Okay, what do these characters look like in the remake? Oh, that's it's not different. Just with less pointy edges. How about my boy Link? How does he look? Wow, what a glow up! Except for Navi, your fairy sidekick. She's still a blue ball. These characters represent the environments they live in, like forests, mountains, water, cave thing, and deserts, to name a few. Each location has their own race and temples, which are your puzzle-based dungeons to progress through the game. With your arsenal of bombs, arrows, hookshots, and empty bottles, these dungeons are the structure of every Zelda game. They all feel so different and immersive, you just have to stop and look around, listen to the music, play your ocarina, the good stuff. You've got dungeons inside a volcano, in a lake, in a well, in the afterlife, inside your dying tree father, and many more locations all over the map. These dungeons give off creepy atmospheres that worry the player, but expresses a feeling of, you can do it! Dungeons make locations much more immersive and create a great feeling of depth. Well, other than Link and a few other main characters, even in the remake they look strange. But if you think about it, there are many races in the Zelda universe in this fantasy-style game, so these characters aren't your boring, normal-looking people. Yes, they have the personality of a white crayon, but you still remember the 8-foot shopkeeper that you bought a shield from. Heck, the exact same models for these characters were used in the sequel 2 years later. Back to the species of the main characters. You have elf people, rock people, fish people, ghost people, a tribe of only women, and Hylians, your human-looking person. These places are memorable, and so are the characters and scary hell dungeons that reside there. The nostalgia of experiencing these places for the first time can really get players to revisit the worlds all over again like they first explored it many years ago. Ugh, sweet Jesus, give me mercy. Okay, so you got a Christmas elf with a pointy nose saving a blonde princess from a giant pig monster. Now, the main story may be as simple as a few sentences, but this game contains many more stories to entertain the player and keep them fighting till the end. Your average side characters don't do all that much, except explain more of the story elements or extra details from time to time. Or complete nonsense, but where are we, and who are we? We take on a character that we can name, who canonically goes by Link, who has been tasked with saving the entire kingdom of Hyrule with your new fairy friend Navi, by a tree. Just wait, it gets better. So in the beginning of the game, you are a young boy and meet with young Zelda, as she tells you that ruin is near because of a man named Ganondorf, who was the only male of the Gerudo tribe. How does that work? Just hold on. Once Link gains the trust of the Gorons and the Zoras, and obtain the magical Christmas ornaments or whatever, Link must pull the Master Sword, which is the key to defeating Ganondorf as a blade of evil's bane. Unfortunately, young Link can't defeat Ganondorf, so he's put to sleep for 7 years until he's old enough to fight. Naturally, some bad stuff happens when Link was taking a nap, so he meets with a totally legit real woman named Sheik. Spoiler alert, Sheik may be someone you've already met on your adventure as a kid. With the guidance of Sheik, Link must go through 6 temples to rescue the sages to seal Ganondorf for 100 years. Here's the best part. Once Link goes back to his forest, he realizes that his Kokiri friends, which is where he grew up, did not age like he did. He finds out from a little tree that he is in fact Hylian and not Kokiri because his parents were murdered and he was raised by a giant tree, which explains how his friends viewed him as an outcast. Deep. Be for everyone. Believe it or not, this is a pretty simple story for a game this size. You got your hero, your villain, and your motivation. Simple and clean, clean and simple. And if you want, you can waste more of your time experiencing more of the story from side characters. For example, that baby tree that nonchalantly gives Link an existential crisis. But these characters, they look interesting, but what are they like? And why do these characters speak with Old English? And some sound like radical dudes. This tree is using words like thy and thee straight out of Shakespeare. Well, this fat man is talking to me like he's from down south. There are just so many interesting and different faces to meet in this giant world. Here are some types of people Link will meet on his adventure. The Kokiri are a forest tribe that live the color green, and consist of only children that never age. Wait a minute. Peter Pan? Hylians are your average humans that you can interact with, without the fear of being looked down upon. They're your people after all. The Gorons are your mountain dudes. They eat rocks and call you brother, dude. The Zoras are much more formal with their relaxed personalities. They are fish, they eat fish, they're fishy. The Gerudos are tough female warriors that are seen negatively as they raised Ganondorf, but are actually misunderstood and end up helping Link. The most important characters are the 6 sages, which you find out are actually the closest friends you met on your journey. They want to help Link and are supportive. It's an understatement to say that the player won't grow an attachment to these guys. They're awesome! That's what's so important about the story in this game. The characters' backstories and the friendship made on the way to the final battle. You want to save these sages because they're your friends, and you kinda need them. It's not just the princess at the end to keep the player invested, it's these memorable characters befriended on the way. In fact, you meet Zelda once and then again at the end of the game. The nostalgia of meeting Malon for the first time. She's so nice. She gave me her best friend, the horse, just because I'm too lazy to walk. And Darunia, who freaks out because you played his jam for him. I can respect that. I love all my friends. Except Navi. She's annoying. Shut up, Navi! I know I have to go to Death Mountain. Please let me cut my grass in peace! The amount of dialogue in this game is so overwhelming to find multiple rhetorical devices, but there is one favorite among fans. There is one big rhetorical device that appears most throughout the entire game. Foreshadowing. It's a game about traveling to the future. Of course, foreshadowing appears everywhere. My favorite instance of foreshadowing in the game is the man in the windmill. You met this man as a child in the past. He's a happy-go-lucky man playing a super catchy song. When you travel back to the windmill in the future, he looks furious. You ask him, "What's going on?" And he replies that some kid played a song that made the windmill go haywire, and thus ruined the rhythm of the song. He then teaches you the Song of Storms, which causes it to rain inside the windmill, which then causes it to spin super fast. He then realizes that it was you that played the song, but you weren't a kid when you learned the song. Once you go back in time, you play him the song as a child, which then you figure out that it actually was you all along, and that you are the stupid brat that ruined the man's song. I never thought Link could be so mean. I guess he does break into people's homes. Breaks their pots, attacks chickens. Yeesh. So you see, there's plenty of story to follow in this game, not including the main story. It's also memorable and nostalgic for players who once experienced it. I mean, really, just how can you forget this really angry man? I mean, you can't. He'll be watching you. Just don't play the song. The music in this game is nothing short of amazing. The soundtrack, composed by Koji Kondo, tugs on the nostalgia of tons of players. Koji Kondo was the guy that composed the famous Mario theme. And of course, the Zelda theme. So this guy's got experience of creating some really, really good earworms. Ocarina of Time is heavily dependent on the ocarina used throughout the game, which makes Ocarina of Time so memorable. You get it? There's an instrument in the title. An ocarina is like a flute that has little holes that create music once air is blown through it. If you didn't know, which you most likely didn't, I didn't when I was younger. I thought he was drinking a water bottle. Here's a snippet from another game, which they incorporated a real ocarina into the 2019 remake of The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. Thanks, Tiny Link. In Ocarina of Time, this ocarina is the key to many solutions and puzzles that progress the story, so music literally plays the game. You have your very short but catchy songs that open doors, change the weather, or calls your horsey. There's even cell phone service in Saria's song, so you can talk to her about girl problems. She knows everything. Besides the many songs Link can use in his ocarina, there's tons of catchy background music that add to the player's overall experience. I know what you're thinking. It's video game music. It's not actual music, it's just nonsensical beeps and boops. To that I say yes, but also no. Yes, the music being played here is actually beeps and boops. The music is not being played by real instruments. What game creators use for older games to make their soundtracks is called a MIDI. MIDIs are notes that sound like the instruments being played, but are really just a keyboard playing notes that sound like a trumpet or another instrument. That's because at the time, game companies didn't have the financial luxury or enough space on a game cartridge to use whole orchestras or actual instruments like they do today. I feel like Ocarina of Time was able to make awesome music on such a limitation. Take a listen. Each song in this game is in a major key for a triumphant hero. Even boss music is heroic and inspiring. Every song has emotion, enough for players to remember the excitement, fear, or happiness they have playing through the game. These songs are so catchy, creating memorable experiences and sparking nostalgia in players today. How come they don't get old? That's a great question because I don't have a set answer. It could be the abundance of instruments used in each piece, or the melody and harmony coming together to produce beautiful music, but the music is just fun for the player to listen to and excites the player to explore new regions of Hyrule. It could be all the above. There is one song I want to go in depth about though. This is the title theme for Ocarina of Time. It's a soothing melody played by an ocarina, accompanied by a calming piano and a few string instruments. The song starts extra soft, then grows to be heroic, to represent the shift from night to day, while Link and his horse wander Hyrule Field. Each note is tenuto, which means held long, which gives the feeling of a melody being sung. The emphasis of the ocarina is almost like a soliloquy for Link, like he's singing. The song isn't necessarily sad, but represents the calm nature of the Kingdom of Hyrule before and after Ganondorf crashed the party. This song represents the childhood nostalgia of an exciting new land to explore and save. The only sad thing about this song is that it doesn't even have a set name except for title theme. Overall, the music in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is truly legendary. Yep, that's what I'm going with. In conclusion, this game's freaking awesome, man! It's affected many players around the world, with its revolutionary 3D, its epic story of good versus evil, and its legendary soundtrack. So now we're here, and I've explained a lot of reasons as to why this game is so memorable. But what's the word? Oh yeah! This game is super nostalgic to people who have played this game for a short time or fans of the Zelda series. Nostalgia can sugarcoat anything to look better than it actually was, and in some cases, yeah, Pointy Boy over here looked way better in 1998. Stay gold, Pointy Boy. I think that this game has aged pretty well in this futuristic year of 2020. From the characters and the story and the music, especially the music, it all left a mark on players for being so memorable, engraving its many moments and features into players alike. Ask anyone who has played this game and ask how they feel about it. 99% of the time they would say nostalgic. It's just that much well-known and memorable. But that's what makes us humans. We reflect on the fond memories of the past to get us through the present. The human feeling of nostalgia is normal. The blissful memories of childhood adventure are nostalgic. And that's okay, because video games are meant to be fun and to produce rich memories for the players. Nostalgia makes people who they are, their interests, their hobbies. It's safe to say that children from 1998 who played this game fondly remember the experiences made in the world of Zelda, and most likely still play these games today. And that's why The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is so incredibly beloved. How groundbreaking it was at the time. Link and Zelda and the whole gang with their misadventures. The vast fields, open lakes, and sprawling deserts to behold. And the beautiful music that implores the hero to keep fighting for the world at stake. It's set that The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time will be remembered fondly until the end of time. Thanks for watching, and I hope you got something out of this video, if anything. So feel free to comment, like, subscribe, oh wait, no, that's not. Or give an A to this video. Thanks.